What's up, movie fans? You're watching A Theater Near You. My name is Atney, and today we are talking about Detroit. This film is out August 4th, 2017. It is directed by Kathryn Bigelow and written by Mark Boal. They are the same writer-director team that brought us The Hurt Locker, as well as Zero Dark 30. And this film stars John Boyega, Will Poulter, Algee Smith, Jacob Latimore, Hannah Murray. So this film is the true story about the Detroit rioting that took place in the 1960s, as well as the tragedy that took place at the Algiers motel. If you're unfamiliar with the story, basically there was a misunderstanding with police and a group of patrons staying at the hotel, and it quickly devolves into this horrifying event in which police are pushing their authority way too far, intimidating, interrogating, and ultimately leading to the deaths of 3 of these patrons of the hotel at the hands of the police, both local PD, state police, and even the National Guard. So going into this film, I didn't actually know much about the events that took place. I wasn't really sure what to expect. I just knew it was about the Detroit riots in the 1960s, the mid-1960s. What Kathryn Bigelow gives us here is a docudrama style film. So it's all shot on hand camera. So everything is very shaky, in the moment style of filming. It makes you feel like you, the audience member, are in each room that we're seeing, as opposed to giving us more generic, flat shots. The performances in this film are really exceptional, especially coming from Will Poulter. He is one of the police officers and kind of the main antagonist of this film. I have never really seen him in much that impressed me, but I gotta say he really blew me away in this film. He is a Game of Thrones level villain that you really just despise, and I gotta give it to him and his performance. He did an excellent job. John Boyega, even though he has a really high billing in this film, he doesn't have much to do, and I realize he is representing a real person that went through these events. But what they actually gave him to do in this film, I wouldn't really give him as high of a billing as I think he's getting. I think he's really getting that notoriety because he's from Star Wars. And that's not to say he did a bad job here, but he wasn't as large of a role as Algee Smith is. One of the main issues I have with it, it is far too long. It is 2 hours and 25 minutes, and you really feel all of that length. I understand that Kathryn Bigelow is going for the arduous effect with that runtime. She wants us to feel like we were trapped in that motel with everyone else. But the rest of the film is kind of bogged down by an overabundance of detail, an overabundance of backstory, trying to get a lot crammed into this film, and it's still way too long. I wasn't really enjoying the wait time to get through to the next scene. It felt like we were kind of stalling out at each scene that we got to. Another interesting aspect of this film, and I think it's a really positive one, is there's no score in this film. There is a soundtrack when there needs to be, which is usually background music, something playing over the radio, a TV on, or someone singing. And that is very effective. There's a lot of Motown music for obvious reasons, but there's no actual score for this film. There's just silence in the background, and I think that actually really elevates this film by driving the tension up, because again, she's going for something of a documentary style, even though it is not a documentary. And I think not having a composed score in the background really helps elevate this film. Overall, you guys, I did enjoy this film, although it is far too long, and I think there's some interesting pacing choices that I didn't really like. I would have liked some more facts on a documentary aspect, or stick to the storytelling completely and then give us facts at the end of the film, but kind of the mix of both didn't entirely work for me. As I mentioned, the runtime is just too long as well. You really feel the weight and length of these scenes. It didn't totally work for me, and I'm going to give this one a 6.5 out of 10. It is a well done film, don't get me wrong, it just didn't really work for me as a whole. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys saw this movie, Comment down below. Hit me at Twitter as well. Let's start a discussion on this film. It's not just about my opinion. I want to hear from you guys. Also appreciate any subscribes or likes you can throw my way, and check out any of my reviews I've done in the past. I appreciate hearing from you guys, and you'll see me again soon. Thank you.